What a day to be alive. Love you all chat. Hassle, 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 hassle. Love you chat. Thanks for being awesome. Hassle, 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 hassle. Perfect start to my 7 months here. Pepe la 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 la. Swaggy. Mustard. Hoggy woggies. Click, clack, click, clack. Hashtag rip bozo. Yeet. Rush dead poker. Get your crabs ready chat, let's fucking go. Oh 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 oh. Crab. Get ready to dance chat. Crapless on my sub day of all things has Crapless. Soldier boy off in this hell, watch me crank it, watch me roll, watch me crank that soldier boy, then Superman that hoe, now watch me you crank that soldier boy, now watch me you crank that soldier boy, now watch me you crank that soldier boy, now watch. R.I.P. Bozo on that Limbaugh pack. Daycare time pogo, R.I.P. Rich Limbaugh.
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon. No matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles. It's 67 degrees out here. What a wonderful day it is today. What a wonderful day it is today. Wednesday, February 17, 2021, 11:14 a.m. and I'm a little late, and I apologize, and that is because I was doing some personal news stuff. I was finding out from my accountant that I actually did not upload all the documents that I was supposed to send him, like the 1099s and all the other tax stuff. I thought I had sent it to him. I was feeling so confident. I was like, you know what? You get that sugar high style rush from accomplishing a goal, an adult style goal that you've been putting off for far too long, and you think to yourself, yeah, the rest of this day is going to be going great. Well, that's part of the reason why I felt so good yesterday. And then I found out that I had actually failed in accomplishing this otherwise very easy task. This very easy task of sending my accountant all of my tax information that I had compiled, including budgets, expenses, all of that sort of stuff. So I did that this morning before I signed on, which is why I'm a little late, so I'm sorry about that. Now, this is part of the broadcast where I give you some of the personal news before I get into the actual news, but the reason why I'm feeling so happy today, I guess, is because it's a wonderful day. Beautiful day. I worked out, but most importantly, I had some news, some good news.
5-month pogo.
Ladies and gentlemen, while I was working out earlier this morning, I heard about some information that may shock you.
Sparkles.
I was so excited that I could not wait to go home. And I changed my title immediately. Information that...
Geez, 5 months already.
Conservative pundit, media personality, person most responsible for your grandparents getting brain cancer, a routine agitator of racial agitprop,
Russia's dead,
a person who has said that the NAACP is responsible for riots, a person who hasn't necessarily spoken too fondly of others when they have died, including Kurt Cobain, even. A person that most Zoomers are not even acquainted with because, you know, the person who's responsible for an entire boomer generation getting brainwashed by conservatism. The brain cancer of conservatism. The man, the myth, the legend, Rush Limbaugh is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Hips! 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 I'm not seeing enough movement. Now, I will get back to the personal news part of the broadcast in a brief moment. I just wanted to give you this, get it out of the way, you know, because I know a lot of people wanted to talk about the most important news of the day. So I will get all the Zoomers acquainted with the man, the myth, the legend, Rush Limbaugh, as we celebrate his life and his many accomplishments as he rots in hell, if there is a hell to begin with. Imagine being pro-life and then dying. Devastating. What a hypocrite. Hey, thank you, Over Reaper, for the 20 gifted subs. Anyway, but yeah, let's get back to the personal news stuff of the broadcast. I just wanted to get that out of the way. We got to do that. We'll probably do that more later today. You know, sometimes you got to cherish these moments when you have some good news, you know, in a sea of horrifying and devastating news when everything is just not going right. And, you know, the Democratic administration is not moving as fast as you'd want them to, not taking the necessary progressive steps to avert our acceleration towards fascism. But I just wanted to make sure that we got this out of the way. You know, sometimes there's some good things that do happen. You know, maybe 2021 will be different than 2020. Who knows? I am looking forward. You got Henry Kissinger. We got Dick Cheney. There are plenty of people that are pure villains. I mean, pure villains through and through. I mean, we'll see. The other Koch brother is alive. Prince Philip. Celebrating him going to DR for young boys and developing an addiction to painkillers. My friend.
LMFAO not Rush Limbaugh because he is fucking dead. Lmao crab plus crab plus crab plus crab plus crab plus crab plus.
In the case of, if I were to make a cancer analogy, it's like when people say, or a Hitler analogy rather. It's like when people say, well, Hitler can't all that bad, you know, after all, Hitler killed Hitler. And it's like, well, cancer is pretty fucking devastating and it's pretty bad. But sometimes it stops further brain cancer from spreading by knocking out different forms of brain cancer. And that is what happened here on this day. Rush is done, and not just on Fox News. Yeah. So, for most of you have no fucking clue. Like, you literally have no fucking clue. You do not know what Rush Limbaugh has done. Like, you just don't understand it. You just know him as, like, the old guy who fucking got, like a medal for no reason from Donald Trump. And, like, a bunch of boomers like myself were agitated by this, and you're like, who the fuck? This guy, and I've used him before, I've talked about him before, like, what he has done in radio broadcasting is something that I talk about as far as what I consider to be the style of content that I do. I am very similar to Rush Limbaugh, except not a fucking psychopath who routinely lies and in the most ridiculous and the most obvious fucking ways. but he is the OG conservative broadcaster. Like, one of the OG conservative broadcasters. Most people don't know. If you don't know who the fuck he is, that means you probably live in like... That means you probably live in a more liberal bubble. You probably live in a city or something like that, and you don't have a lot of conservative relatives. Like, this guy's reach is impossible to comprehend. Like,
crab.
Oh my lord. Oh, Alex. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, we'll get to the tweets in a little bit. Rush Limbaugh had 4 wives and no children. He was impotent before the oxy, and now his bloodline is extinguished. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. There's a lot going on. Oh, we'll do the famous Rush quotes in a little bit. Like, guys, this dude is so quotable. Like, a lot of the stuff that you hear nowadays from like the likes of Ann Coulter and stuff, like, this is just old school boomer conservatism, boomer racism through and through. Here, look, let me put it to you this way. The NFL all too often looks at a game between Bloods and the Crips without any weapons. There, I said it. Old school shit. Like, straight up, like, you know, every black person is violent and a criminal and a gangbanger, you know, that sort of thing. Like, that's why, like, some of the things that Rush Limbaugh is famous for saying, if I said now, you'd be like, what? Who fucking talks this way? Like, you wouldn't even comprehend it. You'd be like, what? Who? There's no, it's like from a bygone era. You know what I mean? It's like old school racism. Like the NAACP quote that I was talking about, which is, where he's like, the NAACP is famous, like they're teaching people how to do riots over there. Like, that's almost like, you know, he might have said that in like the 90s or whatever, but that's like a 1964 era. Like that's like a 60s, 70s era racist remark, but he was doing that in the fucking 90s.
Hassan, thank you for helping me learn more about politics and pull me out of my chud home hassle.
Was he Trump supporter racist or Klansman racist? He toes the line between Trump's. Well, he was Trump supporter racist before Trump. So, like, he is... Oh, Rush Limbaugh's racism. Wow, that's a quick one. Oh, from 2013. Okay. Personal news. I haven't even tweeted out. I just like, let me just go through this. The NAACP should have riot rehearsal. They should get a liquor store and practice robberies. Yeah, exactly. Like that sort of thing, dude. Very, just excellent forms of racism. Like, shit that you hear from your grandpappy. Your grandfather, you know how you steal fucking quotes from me when you're talking to other people to make yourself seem smart, like you're more knowledgeable about politics than you actually are? That's what your fucking granddad did with Rush Limbaugh. Okay? Literally, but for racism. Like, you will repeat some of the things you hear from me as like talking points to other people or to impress women or whatever the fuck you're doing. That's what your grandfather was doing to impress the other racists within his vicinity, to be like, no, you don't understand. Like, my racism level is through the fucking roof. Like, the next level racism chart is what I got. That's what your granddad did. So, I don't know if the Zoomers understand how fundamental he was to creating the right-wing populist rhetoric of Trump, Tucker Carlson, and Shapiro. Yeah, of course. I mean, he did call a female union student a whore and a prostitute for wanting contraception to be covered by health insurance. I mean, that's like, that's basic stuff. That's basic stuff. Like, we're talking... Yeah, old school conservatism, guys. Like, this is why I always say the Republican Party has always been Donald Trump, and Donald Trump's always been the Republican Party, because, like, there is this like liberal understanding that there used to be like a regular Republican, and Rush Limbaugh has been in operation for a very long time. Like, and he's a regular Republican. You know what I mean? Regular Republicans weren't like, oh, you know, I only like the free market, you know, and I would like to deregulate these industries, these key industries, and make sure we're no longer allowing people to have unions. No, like, that's not regular conservatism. Regular conservatism is literally like Rush Limbaugh style, like, all women are whores if they want to have sex without marriage. Also, I will be having sex outside of marriage a lot, but if you do it as a woman, you're a fucking whore and you don't deserve contraception. You might actually get the death penalty. Like, that's regular conservatism, and there's always been regular conservatism. So do not fucking listen to Yeah,
Rush Limbaugh
old school
graded
conservatism is like,
viral.
you know, consent is bullshit, stuff like that. You know, oh, what now? Like, you want to ask for consent? What's next? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Am I gonna? I can't even think of a fucking analogy because we've moved so far beyond that even the analogy that I would give you would be something that literally is like already unacceptable. So Miss Fluke and the rest of you feminazis, here's the deal. If we're gonna pay for your contraceptives and thus pay for you to have sex, we want something for it. And I'll tell you what it is. We want you to post the videos online so we can all watch. My man, dude, he's fucking insane. Okay, so you'll understand a little bit further why we are, you know, us older folk or people that have been paying attention to politics for some time are, you know, happy about this recent development with Rush Limbaugh dying. Omega lol. But before we get to that, I'll close off the fucking personal news segment because you guys are aching. You're itching for some fucking Rush content. Later in the broadcast, we're going to talk about the Joe Biden town hall and the answers that he gave to why you don't deserve $50,000 in student loan relief, student loan debt relief. Why, Jack? Because, you know, Joe Biden's son and daughters were all rich. So, you know, fuck you. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, we're going to talk about the Texas lies. We're going to talk about Greg Abbott and numerous other Texans that are lying about climate change still. And going out in full fucking force about how climate change is not only fake, but also Green New Deal is bad. And that Texas power freeze is a consequence of windmills and all that good stuff. We're going to continue talking about that a little bit further. And the fact, and I stress this point because I feel like a lot of Republicans are just pushing that narrative like immediately. As soon as the power went out, Republicans were like, all right, we're just going to say this is because of windmills. And like, we're going to say this is because of renewable energy. We're going to say AOC is somehow responsible for this or something. Whereas like, you know, CNN and MSNBC and all these other fucking broadcasts are still like jerking off about, I don't know, fucking Russiagate or something. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I haven't really seen too much like CNN coverage on the misinformation coming from the right. So that's part of the reason why I feel like I'm at least a little responsible to, you know, consistently talk about it. There's a Nintendo Direct stream coming out too. I mean, dude, there's so much going on. And I want to do a lot of GTA RP later as well. There's so much fun stuff. Just jam-packed today. We're slammed. We're slammed. So I'm going to tweet out that I'm live right now. Big fucking show. Big fucking day. Lots of good news. God, I love working out. It feels so fucking good. It's literally like crack. Anyway, okay. I am live with incredible news. Get in now. Today is slammed with Rush dying. Slammed. Talking. All right, actually, you know what? We'll be looking at Rush Limbaugh's greatest hits and Joe Biden's town hall, along with conservative, along with GOP lies on Texas power outages. www.twitch.tv/Hasanabi. What a fucking show. What a fucking show we got for you today, boys. Boys, that good from working out? Pumping iron? Yeah, this is how I feel right now. Here, let me start off the day by giving a little bit to the gays.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the
here, this one's for the gays. All right, this one's for the boys. I'm gonna give you guys some little some. Okay.
most satisfying feeling you can get in the gym is the pump. Let's say you train your biceps. Blood is rushing into your muscles, and that's what we call the pump. Your muscles get a really tight feeling, like your skin is going to explode any minute. You know, it's really tight. It's like somebody blowing air into your muscle. It just blows up, and it feels different. It feels fantastic.
Bam!
Finna watch the stream while doing homework.
It's a satisfying for me.
Blood rushing to your muscles.
As coming is, you know, as having sex with a woman and coming.
Not with the
So
man,
can you
though.
believe how much I am in heaven?
What is your
I'm like
favorite
getting the
sunscreen
feeling of
lotion
coming in the
brand?
gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up, when I pose out in front of 5,000 people. I get the same feeling. So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right?
That's how I feel too right now. Fuck, man. It feels fucking awesome. Going to the gym is really good. It's not because of the fucking, steroid lord, skin breaking pump that you get.
At Hasanabi,
But
have you seen
it's just the
anything
fucking
on the
hormones,
man
dude.
market data?
It's just the hormones that you're pumping through your fucking veins right after. Power costs $85 a megawatt in Texas, almost $9,000 fucking dollars, dude. Yeah, well, by the way, price gouging in Texas is occurring because it's a regular consequence of the free market. You know that, right? That's what happens in free markets. Texas is a deregulated energy marketplace, and a lot of people like it. A lot of people seem to appreciate it. That's literally the fucking free market, though. What you regard as price gouging is regular price mechanics in the free market. You can claim that this is going to have a negative consequence for all the utilities that are engaging in this. No, they're not, because it's literally fucking something you need.
With Hasanabi.
It is a life-saving necessity, okay? Which is part of the reason why it should be heavily regulated by the government or completely public as a utility. So, in the absence of any sort of market control, you're of course going to have people fucking price gouge, and of course people are going to pay $9,000. Saying her early estimates for damage, her house was like 60 grand. She legit looked like she was in shock and near catatonic. What?
Hussein.
The consequence of Newt Gingrich and Limbaugh in politics will never be understood by your audience. They both turned conservatives into being ghouls. I am very glad that Newt Gingrich has watched the Atlanta suburbs turn into Democrat strongholds and Limbaugh watching Trump lose.
90-day win. 90-day
I mean, I think he got everything he wanted out of it. So, yeah. So, we're should we start off with the Rush Limbaugh or Rush Limbaugh in limbo? Or I mean, he's not in limbo. He's not going to purgatory. He's going straight to hell. Let's be real. Like, Trump went on Fox News to talk about Rush. Of course, the life and controversy of Rush. Washington Post already cut out. Washington Post already cut out a fucking compilation. So let's get started with the Rush stuff. I think. Yeah, there's no skipping. You're skipping go. You're not collecting $200. You're going straight to fucking hell. And I think in the next 20 minutes, I hope I can like limit this to a 20-minute time block here so that I can move on to some other stories. There's a lot of good stuff going on that we want to talk about. You'll get a better understanding of what Rush Limbaugh is like. And I've said this before, and I will repeat it, but Rush Limbaugh is basically like what I do is a copy of what Rush Limbaugh has done, and in many cases I would even say perfected. Hours and hours of endless stream of fucking stream of consciousness style conservative agitprop. Obviously not on the same moral playing field at all. But if you like what I do, and if you appreciate my content, if you watch me all day long, then you will understand that, like, your grandfather watched Rush Limbaugh in a similar capacity, and that's why you might be more of a left-leaning person because you watch me. Your grandfather became a racist reactionary. He probably was already somewhat racist, but he became like really fucking racist. And as I joked about earlier, you take my takes here and you repeat them to your friends and family to make yourself seem cool and smart and educated. Your grandfather and your grandmother do that with Rush Limbaugh to make themselves seem more racist to their racist friends. So that's his goal and that's his role. And it's very difficult to describe to you exactly how profoundly important Rush Limbaugh is in reactionary politics. But hopefully we'll get a better understanding by going on this journey today. But yeah, in the words of Arnold, I'm coming right now. All right, let's watch the WAPO compy over here. I bet that it's not going to have some of the worst shit, but let's get started.
Off by people claiming that the greater good or the general will or the better.
People will do the same thing to you in 50 years. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Do my fucking greatest hits, bitch. Do my fucking greatest hits. Start with the 821. go through whatever the fuck kind of dumb shit I'm going to be saying. I'm gonna be dead, motherfucker. Why do I care? Okay?
Of the community requires speech patrol.
Rush Limbaugh called himself America's anchorman and a doctor of democracy. He was a conservative on-air personality whose bombastic presence made his radio show one of the most popular in history.
Literally.
He said a number of things that people didn't say on the airwaves, but might have said in the dark of night in the privacy of their homes. And what was refreshing to...
Bitch, what the fuck kind of people are you talking about, by the way? I mean, I know he's right, but like, I don't know a single fucking person that says shit like what Rush Limbaugh says, and I'm pretty fucking grateful for it. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I know that there are a lot of people that have racist ass family members and shit, but like, my God, I mean, luckily I don't know anyone that would ever fucking parrot a Rush Limbaugh talking point. Holy shit.
His audience was the idea that someone was saying these things out loud.
The Rush Limbaugh Show became nationally syndicated in 1988 and is often credited with saving AM radio and leading Republican politics into a new era.
Talk is cheap, and that's what Rush Limbaugh really brings to the airwaves. A 3-hour talk radio program in which it's basically him talking into a microphone.
Yeah.
Limbaugh was known for his controversial statements.
At a time when you get news in sound bites and everything is prepackaged and everything is supposed to be like a certain way, Rush Limbaugh was doing 3-hour broadcasts where he was just going balls to the fucking wall at a time when like he was saying shit that they wouldn't even say on Fox News, okay? That's what it is. So anytime you hear about Rush Limbaugh going forward to this day, and you're probably going to hear a lot about him and then no one's going to remember him because he's a fucking loser piece of shit who gives a fuck. You are going to hear, like, whenever people say, like, Rush Limbaugh was really balls to the wall or Rush Limbaugh really was unhinged or whatever, they mean, like, if there is a racism dial and, you know, those at the fucking racism factory, aka Fox News, are, like, cranking it up, the homophobia, racism, sexism dial, they're cranking it up. Like, Rush Limbaugh was like, yeah, fuck this dial, and, like, broke it, okay? And just fucking broke it and threw it into the ground.
About politics, women, or minorities. His relentless bashing of liberals helped shape a generation of conservative politicians.
I think Rush is a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. It's a combination of smarts, personality, and extremism.
You've also been called arrogant and pompous.
Well, I call it confidence.
And you can certainly argue with the things he said as to whether you agree with them or whether they were proper for public consumption.
He once said Michael J. Fox was exaggerating his Parkinson's disease.
Oh, they're going with the baby stuff. Like it's funny because it's like, dude, like, why Michael J. Fox? Like, why? Yes. By the way, for people who are saying yikes, no, this is baby stuff. Just wait, dude. Just fucking wait, okay? Do you understand? I'm not minimizing the ridiculous ableism of like shitting on someone as harmless as fucking Michael J. Fox, but you will get a better understanding of what I mean when you start hearing some of the other stuff that he says about black people and just wait, okay?
Is moving all around and shaking, and it's purely an act.
He pushed the baseless birther conspiracy theory about Barack Obama. He made race-related comments about then Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, no, this is the baby stuff, yeah.
Quarterback Donovan McNabb.
I'm sorry to say this.
By the way, it's so devastating that in American politics, when someone talks about birtherism, you're like, oh, the viable political movement within the Republican Party that ended up creating a fucking president. Like, this notion that, like, Barack Obama wasn't a real American because he's black and, like, we need to get his fucking birth certificate is now so commonplace that the president was a fucking birther conspiracist. Like, just remember that, okay? And if that saddens you, then you will maybe understand a little bit better why I'm so happy with Rush Limbaugh's passing, because he is literally responsible for that. Like, more than most other individuals. Like, he has a solid chunk of that marketplace.
I don't think he's been that good from the get-go. I think what we've had here is a little social concern in the NFL. I think the media has been very desirous that a black quarterback do well.
Which ultimately forced Limbaugh's resignation as a commentator on ESPN's Sunday NFL Countdown. In 2015, Limbaugh attacked Georgetown University law student Sandra Fluke. Congressional Democrats had invited her to speak in support of contraceptive coverage mandates for health insurance companies.
Without insurance coverage, contraception, as you know, can cost a woman over $3,000 during law school. For a lot of students who
remember, there was a time, and this is perhaps one of the greater examples of why like conservatism is so fucking fleeting and they don't legitimately care about the shit that they talk about. And all they care about is like the actual undesirable outcomes for their enemies, which is why it's inherently reactionary. They moved on from the contraceptive shit. For the most part, like people don't fucking make that big of a deal of contraceptives. They talk about abortion. Why? Because it was never about fucking abortion, or it was never about contraceptives in general, and it was always about punishing women for fucking. Okay, like allowing women to have autonomy over their own bodies. That's what it was always about. And if you're one of those fucking morons who's like, no, actually, it's about the sanctity of life, shut the fuck up. There is nothing that shows that you give no fucking shit about the sanctity of life than to say women are not allowed to do certain things. Okay, punishing women for regular bodily functions that they want to control. It's bullshit. Okay, you don't give a single shit about the sanctity of life if you're telling women that like, no, you're gonna carry a pregnancy to term. Sorry, sucks to suck. Yeah, suck my dick. It's bullshit. Anyway.
Me are on public interest scholarships. That's practically an entire summer's salary.
Limbaugh degraded her on his show.
It makes her a slut, right? Makes her a prostitute. She wants to be paid to have sex.
Republicans and Democrats condemned his comments.
All decent folks can agree that the remarks that were made don't have any place in the public discourse.
It's funny because like they're saying Republicans and Democrats, yeah, like, you know, they all love him. They all loved him back then, not the Democrats, but like Republicans all loved him back then. They still love him. They are probably, like these articles will write themselves in the next days, like in the coming days, like so much for the tolerant left. I'll probably even appear in some of these fucking clip compilations out there where people are like, look at, you know, Antifa, fucking socialist, fascist commentator Hasanabi on Twitch, you know, getting excited, salivating at the mouth of like, you know, conservative commentator Rush Limbaugh's death. Like the left is so violent, they're so vile, they're so full of hatred. Tucker Carlson is going to dedicate 25 minutes to his to exactly this tonight, singling out every single psychotic fucking take that he sees on the timeline of people celebrating the death of Rush Limbaugh. So it's pretty distasteful. Yeah. If you hate the celebration of death, then Rush Limbaugh is definitely not your commentator. I'll tell you that much, brother. I mean, a person who has made fun of nearly every single black person that has died in the hands of the police, or you know, George Zimmerman in the hands of George Zimmerman, or literally every single gay person that's died in the fucking AIDS epidemic. You know what I mean? Anything. Just like literally every person that dies from a marginalized background, Rush Limbaugh is there to make fun of him. So, like I said, he just, you know, if you think that that's a bad thing, then you know, you probably shouldn't be too fucking excited to you know, criticize people for celebrating Rush's death. If you know it'll make you look bad, then why do you do it? Because I don't give a fuck. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I feel the way I feel. And I think this is informative because Rush Limbaugh was a really, really important figure in the conservative movement. In the modern conservative movement, Rush Limbaugh was profoundly important.
And he was dropped by some of his advertisers. Limbaugh later apologized, but maintained that he was unfairly criticized.
The apology to her over the weekend was sincere.
Bitch. Imagine apologizing.
The audience never really abandoned him. I'm sure some disapproved, but most thought that was part of the Rush Limbaugh shtick.
Limbaugh had notable...
Don't you think Rush deserves a golden tombstone? Why? So you can aim better when you're pissing on it? Maybe. Put a target on it?
...influence in the Republican Party. His millions of listeners were mostly conservative. Before Trump's presidency, Limbaugh was known for holding conservative elected officials to hard lines on issues such as immigration, government spending, and denial of global warming. Despite not initially endorsing Trump in the 2016 primary, he later fully embraced him as the future of the Republican Party.
We are all in for President Trump because he is all in for us.
Trump surprised Limbaugh at his 2020 State of the Union address and awarded him the Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor.
Like, can you imagine? There's nothing that says that these medals are just fucking garbage. They're just like pieces of cheap metal that you strap onto the fucking chests of whoever the fuck, then giving one to Rush Limbaugh. Like, I'm sorry. It's just so meaningless after that. It's over. It's like giving a Nobel Peace Prize to Barack Obama, okay? That's what it is.
Recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day that you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity. I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Hassan, wasn't this the piece of shit you wondered a month ago? How was he still alive? Yes. It wasn't even a month ago. I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, I literally saw another clip of Rush Limbaugh, and I was like, how the fuck is this motherfucker still alive? And now he's not.
This came days after Limbaugh...
It's called Kismet.
...announced his stage 4 lung cancer diagnosis. Lung cancer wasn't Limbaugh's first health-related battle. In 2001, he went deaf from an autoimmune disease, and for months, he continued on air with the help of his staff and a teleprompter. He ultimately received...
Thank God. Thank God people kept him. Thank God people kept him going so he could, you know, on his literal fucking deathbed, continue to spew absolute fucking bile, okay? Just absolute bile. Like, this is one of those dudes who just worked every single day of his life to make the world a worse fucking place. This is not a matter of simple disagreements, okay? It's not a matter of like, oh, well, he had a different point of view than you, and that's why you feel that way. Like, no. This is the kind of dude who very clearly, like, in every single fucking moment that he was live and broadcasting, you could very easily understand what kind of fucking dude he was and what he was working to make the world look like. His vision of the world is a devastating place, and unfortunately, we're closer and closer to that vision of the world every single fucking day because America keeps going further and further down this fascist fucking rabbit hole. Okay? Rush Limbaugh's a vile monster, and no, I do not have any feelings for him. I do not care. I'm sick and tired of people also, like, propping up these sorts of figureheads as though they were so nice and so normal. Like, this normalization of, like, horrific monsters like Rush Limbaugh and George W. Bush and Dick Cheney and all these other fucking people is really bad in the long run because we should accurately assess the horrifying things that they did, even in death. Get a segment celebrating gay people dying from AIDS. Yeah. So exactly. Like, when I shit on someone, it's not because I disagree with them. More often than not, I tell you, I will even push back on people who think like, you know, Nazis don't deserve fucking healthcare and shit like that. No, I think they do. I literally tell you, if you are a regular person who is confused or a victim of brainwashing from conservative media and all that sort of stuff, like, there is still a pathway to salvation. Okay, there's a pathway to redemption. You can turn your fucking life around in every way. You can become a better person. I will always believe in that, and I will always fight for you. But there are professional conservatives out there who are literally churning and trying to make more people exactly like them and make money while doing it. And those people, they're not going to get fucking saved. There is no saving them. They've already decided, like, they know better, and they've decided, no, this is what I'm going to do. So always understand, like, when I shit on people like Rush Limbaugh, I shit on them because their impact is far more devastating than the random conservative. even if that random fucking conservative is Gina Carano or whatever the fuck her name is, and she herself is an actress who will now get to that stage now that she's working with Ben Shabibo, but before she started working with Ben Shabibo was probably yet another fucking dumbass Hollywood actress who thought, you know, they hate conservatives and that's why, you know, this is just like the Holocaust. You know, she was a dumbass conservative, and now she is slowly but surely going to move into the professional conservative grifter category, which will make me a lot less tolerant to her bullshit. So, my friends used to be all right, and now they're leftist. People are capable of change, but not the big-time agitators. Yeah. So, just remember that. Aren't these the same folk who think people are too sensitive these days? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always bullshit. It's always bullshit. It's always an attack.
A cochlear implant.
I'm 100% deaf, and I can only hear bionically with these.
Limbaugh also had bouts of addiction to pain medication and later went to rehab. He told his listeners about his lung cancer in February 2020.
But the upshot is that I have been...
I'm surprised that he believes that, like, you know, cancer is real. Well, I guess it's kind of like how Rush Limbaugh consistently used to say climate change is fake, you know, conspiracy, hoax, whatever. And I remember a couple years back, there was a fucking hurricane that was about to hit Florida. And I remember Rush Limbaugh literally saying, like, no, it's fake. It's not a real hurricane. It's a psyop, whatever. And then they caught him at the fucking state line. Like, I think he got pulled over when he was literally evading, when he was driving away from the hurricane after telling millions of his fans that it wasn't a real fucking hurricane that was going to occur. So that goes to show you, like, this is Rush Limbaugh through and through. Do you understand?
Been diagnosed with advanced lung cancer.
He had signed a 4-year extension of his radio show just a month earlier.
He will be remembered as a giant of his field.
To be fair, he would do a charity, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Foundation, every year and donate over $300K at a minimum. Oh, dude, never mind then. Oh, fuck. No. Then it's fine. I didn't realize that as long as you donate to charities, like, it's like, dude, delayed autistic guppy, are you Catholic by any chance? Because that is the most Catholic fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. No disrespect to the fucking Catholics, but holy shit, dude. It's like, oh, no. He literally donated to erase the other stuff. Charity equals automatic erasure of past crimes and wrongdoings. It's great, dude. It's like saying Michael J. Fox is exaggerating his Parkinson's is so evil because it's like a person that you would never attack. You know what I mean? Over a thing that they would have no reason to do. Like, you have to be a really fucked up individual to be like, and it happens a lot more frequently than you would think. A lot of, like, if you talk to disabled people, they will tell you, disability activists will tell you that a big problem is people consistently denying that, like, you know, disabled people have a fucking disability. Like, that is actually very ableist, and it happens really fucking common. It's a really commonplace thing that occurs. But it's also wild because it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's a Curb Your Enthusiasm joke. I mean, it's a joke that's entirely different than, like, Rush Limbaugh literally being like, Michael J. Fox is making up his Parkinson's. He's exaggerating. Hitler donated to charity Hero Arc. Yeah. Anyway, why are they putting sappy music? Because they're pussies, dude. That's why. What do I always tell you, dude? Once you hit a certain point and your position is normalized in a really fucked up country like the United States of America, where, like, Rush Limbaugh's takes literally became president. You know what I mean? If you could take all of the things that Rush Limbaugh has said and put it into an artificial intelligence machine, it would be Donald Trump. So in that universe, when he gets that kind of mainstream recognition and legitimacy, he now has institutional legitimacy. So in his death, of course, they're going to remember him by normalizing his experience and normalizing his words and rhetoric without doing a full account of how devastating it was and how much it might have even changed people's point of view. Did you use Trump and intelligence in the same sentence? Yes, I did. Artificial intelligence, like a machine learning program that it was just fed Rush Limbaugh takes.
As the man who saved an entire medium. And people will argue over his legacy, over his politics, certainly, but there's no denying that his personality was something that...
How is his vision of the world coming to fruition? Do you realize Republicans are losing all their strongholds? Arizona, Georgia, Texas were once the bastion of conservatism. Gay marriage is normalized. Feminism is questioned non grata, etc. So I disagree. Can you explain this more? Yeah, because your fucking worldview revolves around a narrow fucking frame of, like, acceptability. Okay? That's why it's preposterous to assume that Rush Limbaugh's greater vision for conservative control is not happening at a time when there's a supermajority of conservative Supreme Court justices, when lower courts are slammed to the fucking, packed to the fucking gills with conservative Federalist Society judges, when Congress's power has been effectively neutered by Mitch McConnell, when Republicans end up winning elections regardless of what the percentage, what the margin of victory is for the Democrats, when Republicans control legislatures all around the fucking country, where democracy, or which was always a theory and never something that we truly practice, but like is slipping further and further away from us. You think that conservatives aren't fucking winning? Donald Trump was the fucking president, dog. Donald Trump was the president. Okay? He put forward tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations that are nearly Reagan era. Okay? Reagan's effect was devastating for the country. You are seeing some of the examples of, or you are seeing some of the devastating outcomes right now of deregulation and of said tax cuts, of devastating income inequality and wealth inequality in this country. Just imagine what the world is going to look like in a post-Trump universe, what America is going to look like in a post-Trump universe, where that shit's going to come back in like the next, 5, 6, 10 years. We'll have this conversation again. We'll revisit it again in the next decade. Considering that, like, Rush Limbaugh lost because, gay marriage is legal is some silly bitch shit. It means that you have kept your eyes off the fucking prize for a very long time. These people play back and forth and musical chairs with culture war issues, cultural grievances, wedge issues that Newt Gingrich, for example, another fucking demon, is partially responsible for, exclusively so you do not focus on the much more consequential material problems that you still need to address, even if you address homophobia, right? Because, yeah, gay people can get married and it's normalized and that's a good thing. And, the less gay people get kicked out of their fucking homes for being gay, the better. It's better for America. That's better for everyone. And it's certainly better for the gay people. But they still need fucking healthcare, okay? They still need shelter. They still need a base level of material equality. And those things, they're not getting solved anytime soon.
Few people could project on the air and attract an audience as large as the one he did.
This is reductionism, lol. Guy, listen to me. If you come in here with some stupid fucking shit, talking to someone like myself, who has championed intersectionality before you were a fucking fetus, you can suck my entire cock, okay? This is class reductionism. Yeah, it's class reductionism to say that gay people, to say that not tolerating homophobia is a good thing overall, but there are still material problems that we need to fucking solve, and that the culture war between, like, accepting the LGBT community is, again, simply a back and forth that Republicans and Democrats play with. despite the fact that it still has material and significant changes in the lives of LGBT folk, does not mean that I'm doing class reductionism, okay? Because black people still, despite systemic racism, outside of systemic racism, even if you were to, I don't know,